how frightened we are of Farrakhan, what a terror he is of the Chicago Jewish community.
I grew up 7 blocks from Farrakhan. Farrakhan doesn't want to do the Holocaust. He wants to sell you fucking bootleg Schindler's List Blu-rays. He doesn't give a shit. He's a fucking grifter. Like, yes, everyone respects him because he killed Malcolm X. He's the only guy who stepped up to do it. But Farrakhan, like, he's this, bugbear for guys like Jake Tapper. The entire Republican Party endorsed Roy Moore. Who fucking cares? And the other thing is, like, Farrakhan's a fucking goofball, but like, no, I just don't think you should play this game with the right. You're never gonna win never gonna win the fucking disavow game. Who cares? Tell him to go fuck himself.
I wish I had a transcript of everything you said so I could go point by 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 point. But Farrakhan is what is he, a boob or just a no good Nick, or what is he?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's for sure.
But you're dismissing him. It's not.
Yeah, I am, because who gives a shit? Like, do you know how many people? How many people do you think belong to Nation of Islam?
I have no idea. I don't know.
In this room.
5 in this room.
Which of the 13 tribes are you from?
I'm the gamer tribe.
No, I think it's important. And I don't think you should dismiss it when somebody is preaching hateful rhetoric to a group of people, especially in this atmosphere. I mean, maybe in the 80s, 90s. We have more
subscribers than Nation of Islam has members. Who fucking cares? You can't dance by the tune that Jake Tapper tells you have to.
All right. Well, forget about Jake Tapper. I'll take.
He's the entire reason we're talking about this.
You brought it up. You brought it up, and I'm answering just because it's a dialogue. It's not a monologue. So I'm not letting these points go unchallenged, because I think some of them are fucking bullshit, and I'll answer your question. I think that you go, who gives a fuck? Like, meaning nobody gives a fuck, but people do give a fuck. So I'm answering your question. There are people who give a fuck. Me, for one. I think it's dangerous. I think it's ignorant. It's ignorant to history. The more that people go, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck that this guy who's got followers said these things that make people loathe Jews and use them as a scapegoat? Because I don't know if you've read any recent history, let's say the last 400, 500 years of history, but Jews don't come out so good when they're scapegoated.
How come every time the anti-Semitism comes up, it's only in reference to this fucking goofball with a crumbling religion who does OT readings in his fucking temple because he's just a huckster at the end of the day? Or it's like just you went through every BDS role and found one person who said something anti-Semitic. It's never the Nazis that we fund in Ukraine. It's never any of that shit. This is always a cudgel to beat back things that they disagree with, that they're afraid of.
And again, we've moved on. I mean, that's the nature of the news cycle.
Oh yeah, it's going to be done.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with pointing out that kind of thing. And if you want to focus on it, good for you. Do something about it. If you don't want to focus on it, get in your apartment in Bed-Stuy and shout into a mic and go, "Who the fuck cares?" And then in your head, nobody can care. It's fine. You move on. We're going to talk about something in 10 minutes. We'll have moved on to something else. And Rabbi Kahan can come. He should be here shortly. I've invited him.
Another close personal friend who I don't agree with everything on. Like Farrakhan.
Okay.
I would think in certain communities.
That ought to keep him awake.